What is up? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please subscribe for more videos on power stations and inverters and how to power up your tools, and if they're not battery powered, how to make them run off something like this power station that we have right here. So I'm going to pull this out real quick. Oh, you're peeping the new merch? If you guys are interested in this, I love this design right here. If you guys are interested in the new HVAC nightwear lineup, go check out reliablehvacr.net. I'll link it down below. Check out the new designs, many more coming. I have, this is just like the first wave. We'll have another one very soon. A lot of cool ideas. Check out nightwear, link below. Make sure to like and subscribe on this one too. This massive power station, pretty compact for what it is the Aferiy, I don't know how to say it, power station, and we're gonna get into it. Nice smart display, shows you the output. We're gonna use that definitely in today's video to see what we can power up. And yeah, pretty powerful, great for power outages or running. If you guys do any trades work like I do HVAC, running some power tools off of this thing is going to be pretty cool. You got a ton of USB ports here. You got 2 USB A's, 4 USB C's. I like that they're all labeled as far as these are 3.0s, and then the power delivery, they're all power delivery actually. You get 20 watts on these 3 and then 100 watts over here. So you can turn that on. That is a USB indicator. You have your power, you have your light, different modes. You have some adapters here for DC voltage, like car adapters. Displays right there, it still shows it as a cigarette lighter. That's your DC. Over here, you have your power in to recharge it via a wall plug, and your solar panel input is on this side. So these are your inputs. You do have an overload protection right here. Cool thing with this one is all the AC ports you got. You got 6 AC plugs right there to connect any of your power tools, TVs, lights, whatever you need to. You can run it here. You can run a whole room off of this. Refrigerators, you know, things like that. Your AC buttons right there. Pure sine wave. You can see the logo. And you got a little storage. What I would assume, we're going to read the manual, is for your power cable or anything like that. And this is the P210 right here. You got a nice big display to kind of give you some information, and we're going to take advantage of that because you do get your wattage output on this. So we're going to run a vacuum pump, a recovery machine, and see exactly what kind of wattage you need and what maybe help you in your decision on a purchase on a power station. I'll leave this one linked down below. I think this one is really affordable for the power that you get out of it. It is a 2400 watt peak power. It has 2048 watt hour battery capacity. And what's cool is it gives you the percentage and how many hours you have left running whatever you have plugged in. So you got a lot of information here. The hertz, the output, and this thing can quick charge. This thing takes 1100 watts of input from an outlet, and I think it goes up to 1500 if you guys have the solar panel and all that, and 1600 actually. And you're able to fast charge this within 3 hours. And I did test it. It was at like 20% when I got it. In a couple hours, 100% ready to go. So you're able to hook it up to solar or through the battery, through the outlet there. So if you want to use the app, I was looking into it. It is a way to monitor it while you're away. So these things are great for power outages. If you want to run a room, like I have kids, so I want to make sure that the Wi-Fi is running. Refrigerator, freezers obviously are running, and you have plenty of outlets and power with this one in particular. So if you have the app, you can monitor, see the percentage of the unit itself and how much time you have left. Right now it just says 99 hours, and you can monitor that output, which we're going to do right now. We have a recovery machine. So I got my field piece right here, and we have also their This is like, I think the 8 CFM vacuum pump that we use in HVAC. Basically, these are things that you cannot run with a small or cheap generator power station. So I get a lot of questions on like the small ones, the ones that are like 175 to 300 watt power stations, or I would say anything around 500 and under. It's only to charge certain things, right? Batteries and devices and things like that. This, when you get up to over 1,000, you're able to run much bigger things like power tools, equipment like this. So we're gonna plug it into the side here, vacuum pump in, recovery machine. So there is a button up here that you got to turn on to get your outlets on. You can see the recovery machine turned on right there. Now, these are both on. There's a blue light on this one. I don't know if you can see that, but it's because I don't have extension cords right now. So I haven't used these in a while, but we're gonna turn them on, see what the output is. So let's run our recovery really quick. We're able to run it no problem. About 150 watts. So you have a continuous of 155. It peaked at almost 200. That was like 186, I think, that I saw it go up to. So you're gonna need something that peaks over 200 for me to safely run a recovery machine. Now let's try the vacuum pump. $300, $400. So that one ramped up. Both of these can ramp up and ramp down, but I'm surprised that this pump actually took more watt power. Now we don't have it hooked up to a system, so I'm not gonna be able to tell you the longevity of the watts that it runs, but just a quick test, you need about 200 watts to safely run this, and that'd be pushing it. I think you need more than that, and you need closer to 500 to run any kind of like heavy duty pump, because this is an 8 CFM, but and these are pretty efficient. Like I said, this one runs on it can run on a lot, like from 90 volts to 120, and this one, like, they ramp up and down. So essentially, like what I was saying is you would need something over 500, closer to 1,000 to safely run these, and that's what I wanted to test right here, is actually seeing what the watt output is. So let's run them both. Surprisingly, it didn't go that much higher. I was already closing out this video without mentioning my favorite part of this power station. So on cheaper power stations that I have that have the 300 watt power, those are good, like I said, for little devices, little things here and there. And I have one that's hooked up to our Wi-Fi. That way it's charging itself on the outlet. And on that one, I can have the USB-C port always be active, even though it's charging, and goes to 100% and stays charged. So that way, if the power goes out, that outlet goes out, it kicks on the battery and the Wi-Fi never turns off. But unfortunately, on those cheaper ones, you can never have the AC outlet active while you're charging it. This one has something that is called server level UPS power, which is like ultra rapid. It says it's a 10 millisecond response. It operates without, I'm not saying that. It acts as a battery backup. So basically, if you have this plugged in and just leave it charged, right? It's 100% charged, and you want to use the outlets, it'll bypass the battery and go through the outlet. So what that does, it's going to act as a backup. I would love this for my office, so I'm going to test it out in there. That way, if I'm working, you know, none of my equipment shuts off. You have that plugged into the outlet, charging the power station. You plug in a monitor, computer, whatever you need to, a fridge, whatever it is. It's going to bypass and take the power from the outlet straight over to the outlets of the power station. That way, whatever you have does not take any of the battery while it's plugged in. Now, when the power goes out and that outlet turns off completely, you don't have any more power that day, it'll kick on. It's a 10 millisecond response time. It'll switch over to battery mode. That way, whatever you're running technically never shuts off. It's going to do that internally, just a quick switch over from, hey, I'm connected to an outlet to, hey, we need to use a battery. And that can be your backup battery solution for, like I said, certain things like an office, whatever you don't want to turn off and it requires an AC outlet. I'll be using this. I'll test it out, see if it works, because, and it's going to happen again this week. We have another thunderstorm coming in on Thursday evening. If you guys didn't know, I do a Thursday evening live podcast, the HVAC nights, and it's already happened, I think, 3 times. Our power goes out because our thunderstorms always land on Thursday.
We're gonna like frantic, like panic buy that shit. Oh,
motherfucker!
damn!
Did your power really go out?
Yo, let's go.
Hold on, am I back?
Power station. Yeah, no, you never left.
I told you I'm prepared. Really bad throughout the day, and then at night we lose power. So we're gonna test this out. I already have one hooked up to the Wi-Fi, so we don't lose internet access. I want to hook this up to see if it can withstand, you know, a power outage and keep my office going, so I don't have to be interrupted. Basically, that's one of my favorite features of this power station. All right, so you have the carrying case that they give you, so you can put your connections and all that. You also have that storage up here where I put the cable, and it comes with this little cover. Goes on there pretty snug. That's your dust cover. I wouldn't trust it as a waterproof cover, but if you need to store this away in the garage or anything like that, just keep it protected, keep the dust off of it, and just ready when you're going to be able to, you know, or when you need to use it. And the reason I would say keep this on ground level or in your van and just plug in an extension cord into it to run your stuff. This, as compact as it is heavy duty. You know, you get a lot of power out of it, and it weighs 48 pounds. You need a little muscle there to get it around, but a lot of power, a lot of juice here. Just remember, it weighs 48 pounds. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you guys are interested in this particular power station, I'll link a couple of different ones because they do have a smaller, more compact, easy to carry with a handle. And then they have this one, which is their bigger one. Obviously can do more because it has more power to it. So I just wanted to run a quick test since it gave me the wattage output and all that. For any of the stuff, if you're in my trade, anything like that, you would need something that's like continuous. I would feel comfortable if it's continuous, 500 watt output, and then a peak of like 750 to 1000. This one peaks at 2400, and at that point, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It can run anything that I throw at it and, you know, not worry about it. So check out the power station. I'll link it down below if you guys are interested. I appreciate them for sending it out. These are really great. I've been buying and kind of collecting power stations so we can have some for different rooms. Like having, like I said, the Wi-Fi area kind of powered, and that way we don't lose internet access because power outages here, it's been happening a lot lately. And I mean, it's one thing not to have your AC or whatever it is, but if it happens at night, it's not a big deal as long as we have a light throughout the house, you know, the Wi-Fi, maybe a TV going, the kids can have their iPads charged, you know, things like that. And then we got to run our fridge, our outdoor freezer. So it's nice to have these compact power stations and have a couple just in case. Like I said, lately we've had them left and right, these power outages, crazy winds knocking over power lines, a lot of damage done this year. So being prepared is one way. We do have a generator as well. Maybe I'll get into that in another video. But I think a power station or two is a good way. And if anything, take it with you to work. What I would suggest, because I know I've talked to people about running power stations for, you know, vacuum pumps, recovery machines, corded tools of some sort, saws, whatever it is. You have a workbench, a work area at work. You can leave one of these dropped either, or just have it like this in the van if you're up to the building, or leave it down below if you're on a rooftop. Throw an extension cord down and plug into it. And that way you only have to run, what would it be, like 50 feet? You don't have to run hundreds of feet to the next available outlet. You can set this up by wherever you're working. If you're on a rooftop, drop down an extension cord and get your work done that way. Today's day and age, there's no excuse. Have a power station ready to go. Be prepared for a power outage. Help you out. It'll help you out at work. You know, all of that kind of stuff. So if you guys found this video helpful, interesting in any way, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out the merch. More designs coming soon. See you guys.